I'm Gary, and this is Coasting with Culture, which is all about combining theme park visits and riding roller coasters with various cultural experiences around the world. It's been a couple months since traveling all around Europe with the members of the Buzz Bars Coaster Club, but the time has come to join several of those who traveled through Europe and many others down in Georgia. We'll take a look at the first day of the Georgia-based event for the club, which included a few brewery stops, some fun side activities, and a visit to ride one of the few permanent fairground coasters in the United States. As the fourth of 5 stumbles for the Buzz Bars Coaster Club in 2022, Stumble on My Mind was one that many members were looking forward to, as it was going to include a day at Six Flags Over Georgia and a chance to ride on one of the newest Rocky Mountain construction creations, Air Force One, at Fun Spot Atlanta. As an added treat, a plan was hatched to include the first ever Stumble Bus, where our group would hop aboard to hit different breweries and other stops before capping the night off at Fun Spot. But those plans would have to change, as delays in construction of the new RMC Scream Machine kept coming and eventually pushed its opening back to 2023. But if there's one group that can take a change in plans and make it work out well, it's the Buzz Bars. The time of the trip happened to fall on the days of the North Georgia State Fair, which meant easily placing a visit there in Fun Spot's spot, and then continuing to Six Flags Over Georgia the next day. So with a weekend of buses, games, breweries, and coasters to enjoy, it was time to head to Atlanta. Getting to Atlanta would be with a familiar friend in Alaska Airlines, and this flight was departing from the North Satellite, which had an excellent surprise. As they continue to make additions after its massive renovation, there's now a second airport location of Beechers, joining the one found in the Seagates area, which means another opportunity to have a last taste from home before hopping on a plane for the next adventure. My MVP status with Alaska came in clutch once more, as I was lucky enough to gain a complimentary upgrade to first class, making for a more comfortable flight over. Our departure from SeaTac took us up north, which gave a neat view of Elliott Bay and Seattle's downtown core, until we began the turn east toward the Cascade Mountains. After a bit, cabin service took place, which meant another chance to enjoy the fruit and cheese platter, but rather than the usual cookie that I've had on previous flights, this time they offered a delicious sea salt and caramel ribbon ice cream from the Portland, Oregon-based ice cream maker Salt and Straw, keeping up with Alaska's way of offering snacks and beverages from local providers of the Northwest. The rest of the flight was used to work on other Coasting with Culture content until we began our approach to Atlanta.
It's kind of a bittersweet moment getting off of that plane, because in all likelihood, unless something drastically changes, that was likely my last flight with MVP status on Alaska. And unfortunately, I haven't been flying nearly as much as I had in the past, and now I'm using Philip's flight benefit more often, and so it's probably not going to be very likely that I'm going to get enough flights and enough miles to keep up the status for next year. So it's been a great ride, getting to enjoy upgrades here and there. Fortunately, it's probably going to be a while before it happens again.
Since I was on an afternoon flight with a late arrival, I was among the last to get to the hotel that evening, but as a number of Buzz Bars were still hanging out in the lobby, it gave me a chance to spend some quality time with some great folks. It wouldn't feel like a complete visit to the southeast without at least one Waffle House stop, and a large number of us made the trek over from the hotel for that delightful American breakfast hibachi restaurant. After breakfast, it was back to the hotel where around 50 Buzz Bar members gathered in the lobby waiting for the bus to arrive. Although it was running a bit late, so we had to find ways to entertain ourselves in the meantime. When it finally arrived, we loaded up. I don't know if that poor driver was quite ready for the day ahead of him.
As a fellow bus driver, I apologize ahead of time.
And it really didn't take long for the party to crank up on board.
Still on my mind, let's go.
Yeah.
After a bit of a drive, we got to our first stop for the Sweetwater Brewery, the largest craft brewery in Atlanta that was created when the founders saw an opportunity during the 1996 Olympics to bring California-style craft beers to the Southeast. Heading to the main taproom allows you to grab a table and enjoy their selection of beers. Whether you want to try their IPAs, hazy pales, or a good old lager like I had, there were several options to try. If you really wanted to enjoy a beautiful day like this one, you could head out to their patio space for a round of cornhole. As a special treat for our group, we were offered a private brewery tour where they shared with us the story of the company and their brewing and packaging facilities. As the tour concluded, we exited the brewing facility through the main office reception, which has a piece of glass artwork that'll certainly catch your eye. And I believe one of the employees said it was a piece from Dale Chihuly, a famed glass artist from back home in Seattle. This was a great first stop for the Stumble Bus, but there was plenty more to do, so we loaded back up and the chaos continued on board.
I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never want to hear you say, woo! I want it that way.
It didn't quite take as long to get to stop 2, which was a lunch stop at a downtown Atlanta institution, the Varsity. Dating back to 1928, this local fast food restaurant is massive, covering 2 city blocks, with the ability to host up to 30,000 diners a day when nearby Georgia Tech is hosting a home football game. They have a menu that includes the likes of chili dogs, burgers, onion rings, and milkshakes, with one of the most popular flavors being the frosted orange, combining their orange drink with the vanilla milkshake. Getting some food in before more drinking was a great call by the guys who put this plan together. After lunch and a group photo, it was back on the bus for more chaos on the way to the next stop.
It ain't easy being cheesy.
With a bit of a drive over to the Parkside Piedmont area, we found our next destination at Orpheus Brewing, a smaller venue tucked away in the neighborhood that offered a nice relaxed atmosphere with comfortable couches and tables for playing some board games or card games. This place specialized in IPAs and sours, so I tried their pineapple vanilla sour, which was certainly an interesting flavor, although I've got to be honest, sours really aren't my thing, but I really enjoyed the place's vibe. After a bit of time, it was back to the bus again, where just as it had every other time, the chaos continued. Once we arrived to our next stop in the Upper West Side of Atlanta, everyone had some flexibility to enjoy a few different options for how to spend their time here. A group of us walked over to an area called The Works, which was an entertainment district inside of an old industrial park with various retail, dining, and recreation options. It's also a popular gathering spot, as shown by a local chapter of the Florida State Alumni Association who met up to watch their alma mater's football team on TV. Several local breweries are also on hand here, including Scufflaw Brewing, which offered a delightful Kolsch called Rustler. The main draw for those of us who came to this location was to try our hand at some axe throwing, which is gaining a lot of popularity across the country, but I had yet to try it, as evident by my failure to throw it the right way. But I wasn't the only one who struggled.
Sorry. First time.
But that's not to say that all throws failed.
Get it, Gary. Hey!
The other primary option for this stop was to work on your swing at Topgolf. Now by this point, the chaos on the bus surely would slow down, right? Nope. This drive, though, took us to the final stop of the night, where we'd have our first group coaster experience with the North Georgia State Fair. As an added bonus, Sloan had been in contact with the Carnival company that operates the fair's rides, and they arranged for us to meet with the owner of James H. Drew Exposition, Jimmy Drew himself, who took time out of his evening to tell us about the company, meeting Anton Schwarzkopf and Walt Disney, and a bit about the Wildcat coaster at the North Georgia State Fair, which led to him mentioning something that brought me a little personal joy.
The largest coaster at any fair, I'm talking about at a portable fair, the largest coaster is the Wildcat, and it's in two places.
Okay.
It's going on right now. Both of them are working right now. We got the one in Marietta, and the other one's at the State Fair of Washington. And, and that's and that's in Puyallup.
Like Seattle.
Ooh, go to maybe Vancouver.
Vancouver, 2024.
There you go.
We could go to Seattle when they have the Puyallup Fair, or however you pronounce it. I'm sure Gary's gonna say something.
He's gonna roast your ass so hard, and I can't wait. I'm not even gonna try.
Because I think the first time I said like Puyallup or something, but he's like, I think he said Puyallup.
You're so wrong.
Puyallup.
After talking with us for a while, one of his managers led us over to the star attraction of the carnival, but there was an excellent surprise in store for us when we got over there.
So, Gooch, what exactly is going on here?
Well, the showman that owns this wonderful ride has given us exit passes so that we could all experience the Anton Schwarzkopf Wildcat. And I don't know how these people are gonna feel, because there's like 400 people in line, but hey, he's taking us onto the ride.
Like other Schwarzkopf Wildcat coasters, this one offers some nice pops of air and quick bursts of positive Gs. Definitely a layout I've enjoyed anytime I've been able to ride one. We were also treated to some additional ride tickets to use for the carnival, which led to a large contingent of us taking the chairlift over to the other side. One ride I would have liked to try was the Seattle Wheel, not just because of the hometown name connection, but also for the sake of it being a replica of a rare version of the Ferris wheel that debuted at the World's Fair of 1962. It was neat to see they had one of the benches of the original on display, with a tribute to the Elvis Presley movie It Happened at the World's Fair that was filmed on site during the event. Unfortunately, the line was a bit longer than I wanted to wait, but our group did enjoy several other rides. This day was a truly unique experience, and I think many would agree it was an excellent way to spend a day together. And you certainly won't hear me turn down another opportunity for a day like this in the future.
That was the bestest ever!
I pooped myself.
Thank you for watching this Coastin' with Culture video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button below to see future videos here on YouTube, like these ones which you may enjoy as well. Additional content can be found at coastingwithculture.com, and you can also follow Coasting with Culture on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for announcements, previews, and updates. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, take care and safe travels.